3 days, no movement, no fire, no rescue until the mission ends, and one mistake means you never leave the hide. Before a shot is ever fired, the mission has already become a test of patience. A Russian sniper team made up of a sniper and a spotter moves into position before sunrise to watch a road, a valley, or a suspected supply route. The original plan might only call for a few hours of observation, but then something changes. Enemy patrols shift direction, drones appear overhead, or the safest route home suddenly disappears. What began as a routine overwatch quietly stretches into a 72-hour survival challenge. And here's what surprises most people. The rifle isn't the center of the mission. Observation is. Modern sniper fieldcraft places enormous value on staying hidden, gathering intelligence, and reporting movements without exposing the team. Pulling the trigger is often the last option, because one shot can reveal weeks of preparation. Survival depends less on marksmanship and more on remaining a part of the landscape. Everything depends on the first decision. Before daylight reaches the hills, the sniper pair studies every fold in the terrain, every shadow, and every patch of vegetation. They avoid standing on ridgelines where the sky creates a clear outline behind them, a mistake known as skylining. Instead, they disappear into low ground, broken rocks, or thick brush, where natural cover hides their shape before camouflage even comes into play. But finding the location isn't enough. The hide has to look like it has always been there. Small branches, grass, loose dirt, and surrounding vegetation are arranged carefully until nothing appears disturbed. If someone can recognize a man-shaped object from a distance, the mission is already over. Camouflage begins with choosing the right ground. The suit only finishes the job.
This should be a good spot to ambush them.
Most people imagine a sniper simply putting on a ghillie suit and disappearing. Reality is much less dramatic and far more demanding. Camouflage has to match the exact environment. Fresh grass, dry weeds, leaves, or small branches are attached to the suit so it mirrors the terrain around it. Even the rifle, scope, backpack, and straps are disguised because one dark, straight line can catch the human eye from hundreds of yards away. And the work never really stops. As sunlight shifts and vegetation dries out, camouflage has to change with it. Winter missions require completely different materials than summer ones, while forests demand something different from rocky hillsides. No two camouflage setups look exactly alike because no two battlefields are identical. A sniper who stops adapting slowly becomes easier to find, even if he never moves an inch. Most people expect bullets to be the greatest danger. They're wrong. Movement is. After only a few hours, legs begin to lose feeling, muscles tighten, and pressure builds across the shoulders and back. Then the insects arrive. Flies crawl across exposed skin. Ants wander through clothing. Every instinct tells you to brush them away. But even lifting a finger at the wrong moment can shake nearby vegetation or expose a human outline. As the afternoon heat builds beneath layers of camouflage, sweat starts soaking into clothing with nowhere to escape. The body desperately wants to stretch, scratch, or simply roll onto one side. None of those are options. A motionless sniper blends into nature. A moving one instantly becomes something the brain notices. In the field, staying perfectly still often protects you better than the rifle lying in front of you. A sniper can stay perfectly hidden, yet one flash from a scope lens can expose everything. Dew on optics, dust inside the rifle, and heat mirage all threaten accuracy and concealment. Every adjustment is slow and deliberate because maintaining the weapon without revealing its position is just as important as hitting the target.
My name is POC Michael Erling. I am a sniper team leader in 114th Infantry, and we are here doing ghillie washes at Fort Dix.
By the first few hours, hunger starts reminding you that the mission is lasting longer than planned. But eating isn't a break, it's another fieldcraft exercise. Everything has to be cold because lighting a stove or heating an MRE creates heat, smell, and movement that can give away the hide. The team carries only what fits into a small pack, so every bite has to count. Meals are eaten slowly, quietly, and only when the surrounding area feels safe enough to risk the slightest movement. And after a while, food stops feeling like food. The same ration bars, cold pouches, and dry snacks repeat meal after meal until they're nothing more than fuel. There are no hot drinks, no comfort, no real satisfaction. The goal isn't to feel full, it's to stay alive while conserving every bit of energy for the hours still ahead. Long observation missions demand exactly that kind of discipline. If food is limited, water is precious. The sniper team only carries what they expected to need when the mission began, not enough for 3 unexpected days hidden in one position. Every sip is measured, drink too much too early, and you risk running dry before extraction. Drink too little, and your body slowly starts working against you. It's a balance that gets harder with every passing hour. Soon the signs become impossible to ignore. Your mouth turns dry, your lips begin to crack, and even swallowing feels like effort. Concentration slips a little more every hour as dehydration builds. Leaving the hide to search for water isn't really an option, because exposing yourself would destroy the mission in seconds. But another problem is quietly building alongside the thirst. And unlike dehydration, it's something nobody likes talking about until they have no choice. When darkness finally arrives, it doesn't bring rest. It simply changes the challenge. If the team is operating as a sniper and spotter, they alternate short periods of observation while the other grabs a few minutes of sleep. But even then, nobody truly relaxes. The rifle stays within arm's reach, ears remain tuned to every sound, and one unexpected movement outside the hide can end the mission instantly. Those brief micro-sleeps never replace real sleep. Instead, they simply keep the brain functioning long enough to continue. Hour by hour, fatigue begins changing how the world feels. Sounds seem different. Shadows appear to shift. Small details become harder to judge. The sniper isn't exhausted yet, but the first cracks in perception have already begun to appear. The second night is where experience starts separating itself from determination. Sleep debt has been building for nearly 2 days, and now it begins affecting every decision. Distances don't look quite right anymore. A loose rock rolling downhill suddenly sounds like approaching footsteps. The wind brushing through grass feels almost identical to someone moving through it. Every sound demands attention because guessing wrong could be fatal. The cold makes everything worse. Mountain temperatures can fall sharply after sunset, and camouflage clothing is designed to hide shapes, not trap warmth. The body burns precious calories just trying to stay warm while shivering, slowly creeps into tired muscles. Eventually, even steady hands begin to shake. And for a sniper, that's one of the last things you ever want. So the battle shifts inside the mind. Many experienced snipers describe thinking about simple things: a hot meal, a warm bed, coffee waiting back at base, not because they're hungry, but because those thoughts keep the mind from focusing on discomfort. Those small mental escapes become survival tools. By this point, exhaustion has become more dangerous than enemy fire because it quietly attacks judgment long before it attacks the body. After days inside a hide, even basic needs become tactical problems. Leaving isn't an option, so waste is managed discreetly using sealed containers or field-expedient methods to avoid signs or scent that could expose the position. It's uncomfortable, but mastering moments like these is part of surviving prolonged observation missions. By the third night, the battlefield isn't outside anymore. It's inside your own head. Hours blend together until nobody can say whether 10 minutes passed or 40. The silence becomes strangely loud. Every distant sound demands attention, even when nothing is actually there. A shadow between rocks almost looks like someone crawling. A voice seems to echo across the valley before disappearing completely. This is where isolation becomes the real enemy. The extraction window still hasn't arrived, and doubt slowly starts replacing confidence. Did the radio fail? Has the mission changed? Is anyone actually coming back? Every instinct screams to stand up, stretch, or simply move after lying almost motionless for days. But that's exactly what the enemy is waiting for. Psychological endurance becomes the final test. Shooting isn't the hardest part anymore. Remaining hidden is. One careless decision after 70 hours of perfect discipline would erase everything. And somewhere beyond the darkness, the extraction team is either getting closer or not. Until that signal comes, nobody knows.
If you would have vegged more on that spotting scope, you guys probably would have been all right.
I had like a screen over the top of my tripod, and it was like an off color for the foliage that was around. I mean, you're not going to go out there and not learn something.
At last, the extraction signal arrives. The team slowly leaves the hide, legs stiff after days without movement. Dehydration, exhaustion, and weight loss make every step difficult. But none of that matters. The mission wasn't measured by shots fired, it was measured by staying hidden, gathering intelligence, and making it home alive. Sniper training builds far more than accuracy. It develops patience, fieldcraft, camouflage, discipline, and the mental resilience needed for long observation missions. The hardest test isn't pulling the trigger, it's staying unseen for days. In the end, endurance and concealment often decide success, long before marksmanship ever does. Remaining invisible for 72 hours has very little to do with extraordinary shooting. It's built on patience, discipline, camouflage, and the ability to stay calm when every instinct says to move. In the end, the greatest battle isn't fought through the scope. It's fought inside the sniper's own mind.